I know I shouldn't be saying the word, you know, racial words, but I'm just really upset and disappointed in the fact about what's going on. And who knows, maybe it was a group of black people that did get involved and did put some protection. But I just feel so horrible for my mother and discredited of anything. Discredited. It's really, really bothersome. It really bothers the situation because there's nothing I can do. I'm 42 years old. You know, I haven't had sex in 16 years. And to my understanding, all this is happening because I'm infected with the HIV virus since 28 years old. And everything in the United States is all cleaned up and that's it. But to understand that it's just thrown away like nothing. Just like garbage, just whatever. Like nothing. And you won't ever get that time back. You know? And there was more than enough criminals for people to go out and really were bad people. Really were stealing your shit and money and all this. They have their own massive psychology of teams of people, but it doesn't change the fact that what I did didn't count for very much at all. And they just took what they want, because it's not the way of the glory afterwards, but the way that I lived the entire way there, and I wasn't supposed to say anything. Like, I could barely protect my fucking self. I could barely protect myself. You know, you won't ever get that time again. And watch my mother suffer like that, you know, I mean, I literally ran up to her front doorstep, like, in tears, almost, like, just shaking and frantic, like, what happened to my mother when Oprah Winfrey got on that television? Like, what happened to my mother? I thought she's living with her boyfriend, and I could have told everybody this information a long time ago, and all the details that go into this, because it just puts me in danger. That's all it does in my work. I'm just going to work like anyone else that have to work for a living. There's no surprise at the end of this. There's no surprise. There's none. What these people were doing to hope to put me in prison. Hope to sabotage so that any credit, anything, just nothing. And that's what happened. You know, it's such a race war and prejudice war in all sorts of directions, and you know, it just puts great danger because everybody wants a piece of it. You know, and I don't have the money to buy that, and they did. And I can't do nothing about the time. It's gone. You know, I got to go to the shelter. Try to save up some money, look for a place on Craigslist. You know, I've never lived at Lawrence, Kansas, renting a place on Craigslist or on Facebook, but it ain't gonna change nothing about what's happened. You know, there's not enough eyes watching, and you know that. You know, there's nothing for me to run to, no piggy bank that I go to. I know law enforcement family that goes to that benefits me. It's just not, you know, everybody says that, you know, their mother this and the mother that, but that's very difficult to deal with because they know you can't go through that type of shit, especially since you're a kid. My brother was a kid, and my mother. And what I'm having to do in that circle of family is just, yeah, your money bought all that shit. You know, it bought, you know, there's nothing that can be done. It doesn't feel very much better talking about it, but it feels a little bit better because it's done, you know, because it was my time, not theirs.